economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
And good to have you on Atlantic Blowout, everyone, which is a syndicated live program of the network where we hold conversation on special interest topics. We bring you news, events, and stories through correspondent reports, expert opinions, and stakeholders analysis. Today on Atlantic Blowout, we take off with Anchor's chat. Ulamas converge to pray for APC Supreme Court victory. Rivers State crisis, developing stories. We have no amount is too big to pay for peace. That's coming from Governor Fubara. To the Rivers State crisis and developing stories, we have President Tinubu, you cannot override Nigeria's constitution. That's coming from Pa Edwin Clark. In Rivers State crisis and developing stories, truce reached in Abuja is democratic coup d'etat. That's coming from a senior advocate of Nigeria, Oguche. And in Rivers State crisis and more developing stories coming your way this morning, truce outcome should be celebrated. That's coming from Northern Elders Forum. I will take over again to other issues for now of national interest on prosecution. Nnamdi Kanu queries constitutional backing of his true trial. On Christmas message, Nigeria will flourish under President Tinubu. That is coming from the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Dr. Dan Oko. On insecurity, IGP charges the ex-commanders on excellence professionalism. I guess on the show today is a lecturer with English Department, University of Port Harcourt. He is also speaking to us as a public affairs analyst. That's none other than Ene Eric Ibifa. Stay with us, everyone. We'll come back to you on Uncle's Chat after the break. But you know you can always watch us live from wherever you are in the world. All you need to do is App Store, and that's ATN Live. Stay with us, everyone. We'll come back to you on Uncle's Chat after the break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Mikhail of Yusuf Abubakar of the Izala sect and Professor Maibu Shira of the Qadiriya sect. On his part, Malam Abubakar said the prayers were necessary to ensure that we are gathered here to offer special prayers for both the justices of the tribunal and the appeal court. We are equally calling on the justices of the Supreme Court to look carefully at the facts before it and do justice to the people of Kano State so that their stolen mandates can be recovered. As meant by stolen mandates. And this is the point where we say that when things happen and they are not corrected to look like a norm, we take it as one of those things. But the big question here is, when you say you are praying for APC's victory at the Supreme Court, the question then is, what is this victory premise on? And then see these Sulamas, remember they are supposed to be God-fearing, they're supposed to be truth-seeking and truth-projecting or professing, if you may. But somehow they decided to say, for them, truth is taking, returning, giving Kano people back their stolen mandate. And then you ask yourself, let's agree that there was a stolen mandate, and they, according to them, APC's mandate was stolen in Kano State. Okay, let us agree to that. Now, but who stole the mandate of APC in Kano State? Because this is the point where you begin to question what spirit works in some of these people who profess to be children of God, prophets of God, teachers of the word of God, whether it's in Islam. I mean, they're all Abrahamic children, Abraham's children, whether it's Ishmael or Isaac. That's what I'm trying to say. They all try as responsibility to conduct elections whenever it comes to elections, at least till date. So it's literally difficult to judge that, you know, anyone would have won outside of the Kwankwasia's movement. But be that as it may, all the state and National Assembly seats, the NNPP under the Kwankwasia movement won, apart from one seat. Okay. In 2015, they needed them, and the Daza President Tinubu Buhari won the 2015-2019 elections in the state. In 2023, they basically replicated what they have been seen to have done in recent years. Now, for some reason, there seems to be a power game that is at play. Because if this is about the law, if this is about justice, if the law is about justice, everyone who have been following the Kano State issues would agree that what we saw cannot be adjudged to be justice. Because look at the Ulamas today saying a stolen mandate. The line of stolen mandates, how did it come about? What premise is he on that his mandate, APC's mandate was stolen? If you go back to the traces of the elections, Kano governorship candidate on NNP was declared to have 1 million+ votes. Now, when the tribunal came on board, according to the tribunal, 165,600 something votes was removed from that result, which then automatically gave the APC's candidate, Gawuna, an upper hand and a higher figure, according to the judiciary permutation and not according to INEC's permutation, because according to INEC permutation, NNPP is a candidate. Now, NNPP candidates won the governorship election in Kano State. just like they won majority seats at the National and State Assembly in the state. So the big question we're looking at right now is, who exactly stole the mandate of Gawuna and the APC in Kano State? NNPP did not declare themselves the winner of the election. It was declared by the election umpire that has the authorization to do that. The tribunal now says, oh, we're removing this, and what is the reason for removing these votes? In a sane world, you would say, oh, reconduct election in these places. Oh, if we're going to remove these votes from this person, then the same thing should be done with the other. I mean, how do you explain the fact that INEC consciously, because 160-something thousand is not just 2-3 votes, you say, okay, it's an oversight. INEC consciously refused to sign the ballot sheet of 165,000 some fractions, all NNPP's votes for the governor. That's supposed to be a coincidence. And anyone sits on the seat of justice and adjust that to be fair. And at the end of the day, you have the ulamas praying in the same Kano state. So Kano state is a dominant, is a Muslim state, religious-wise. Now, religious speaking, if at the end of the day, these three ulama from these three sects decided that they are praying for Gawuna to be victorious at the Supreme Court, what exactly are you going to preach to people in other sects? What exactly makes that the gospel? I thought that justice should be justice, irrespective of where and who is involved. I thought that you would see religious teachers or leaders in Kano State coming out to say, not to take sides, but to say, let justice prevail. INEC should be held responsible because INEC is a culprit in this particular instance. Whether the outcome of the tribunal or the outcome of the appeal courts, irrespective of which, because INEC is the one who authorized NNPP to have a candidate in the election. If they knew that NNPP did not meet their guideline, they had the responsibility not to even field them for the elections. So all of this is playing out. And we are watching religious teachers called the ulamas sit in public square, give judgment, take sides in a situation where they ought not to take sides, forgetting that every blood that is shed in Kano State over this governorship crisis, the outcome of the Supreme Court or that has been shed so far, is a blood shed on the soil of Kano State, and that blood is no different from the blood that flows in the body of the APC or NNPP, as the case may be. So it is saddening to read such stories in the news, and then you wonder, is the God of these three sects in Kano State, headed by these three ulamas, different from the God of the other sects? Your guess is as good as mine. But we keep our fingers crossed and hope that tomorrow, when the Supreme Court finally gives judgment, that justice will be seen to have been done. Because any justice, to the best of my knowledge, that is contrary to holding INEC responsible over their inability to have signed those result sheets, because the tribunal didn't say that these were illegal ballots because people didn't vote properly. No, just that the result sheet was not signed. Whose responsibility was it to do the signing? It's INEC. So why is Yusuf and the NNPP being